Welcome to the last video in section 4. In this video we're going to be making a nice, useful but fairly simple basic phrases app, which we're going to build on the structure that we created in the previous video. So it's a simple English to French app, and if you tap on the buttons,
Bonjour, je m'appelle bienvenue.
You get the basic phrase that you need. So nice and simple, but actually quite functional and useful. The one challenge you'll have is trying to combine these into a single method rather than having a separate method for each button, having a single method and then having a way to play whichever sound relates to the button that the user tapped on. So that's the challenge here. But to get your actual phrases, you have two options. So I've got my phrases from ielanguages.com. And I've used the French MP3s, and they've got a huge range of completely free MP3s. So you can customize your app as you like. You can use a different language if you want, but if you want the super easy version, where you don't have to manually download each phrase, you can just go to androiddevcourse.com/phrases.zip. And that will download the phrases that I use in this app, so you've got them all in one go. All right, you should definitely be able to build this app, so time to pause the video and give it a shot. Best of luck. All right, I hope that went well. I'm going to start by bringing in the sounds into our resources folder, which I'll do in the usual way by opening the folder in Finder or Windows Explorer and then creating a new folder, raw, and I'm just going to drag the phrases directly into the raw folder. Now they're all there, fantastic. Now, as I mentioned, the challenge is going to be setting this up with a single method, works regardless of which button has been pressed and plays the appropriate sound or phrase. And as you hopefully guessed, I'm going to do that with tags. So I'm going to update each button as we go, and I'll just work my way down the list. So do you speak English? And then the tag is going to be the name of the file. So do you speak English? And then I can use the tag directly to access the file. All right, here we go. Good evening. I'll just copy the code for the tag. Oh, while we're going, I'll update the ID. The IDs aren't particularly important, so I'm just going to use button 1, button 2, etc. And we've got hello, that perhaps should have been at the beginning, but you can move them around yourself if you like. I will leave this in full, but feel free to skip forward 30 seconds or so if you get the idea, or just do this along with me. So now we're on button 5. I live in. Button 6. My name. I'll keep those in caps. Nearly there. Please. Doesn't make much difference, but just to keep it all in the same style, we'll stick to caps. And there we go. So you've got a bit of an issue there with do you speak English is being a bit greedy with space. So let's see if we can use a new line to even that out. There we go. So \n gives you a new line, which should keep everything nicely aligned. So now it's just a matter of adding an on-click to each of these and playing the name of the file that's in the tag. Let's give it a go. So we'll add the on-click. Like that. I might be able to do something fancy with find and replace, but I think it's quicker here just to paste it in each time. And then we're just going to jump over to our Java file and create the play phrase method. All right, so I'll just run the app in the background, save us waiting for it later on, and then create play phrase. And initially, all I'll do with the method is log the tag of the button that's been pressed. That should be enough. I'm fairly confident that we'll get that far. So we'll have a button pressed variable which will cast as a button and get from the view. And then we'll log button pressed, and then we'll access button pressed dot get tag and then convert that to a string. Okay, let's have a look. So the layout's looking good. Happy with that. So let's just press a few of these buttons. And this is looking good. Wonderful. So all we have to do is play the audio file associated with the tag. However, it's not quite as simple as you might think. If we try and create our media player, we'll use what we had before. So media player create. Now, before we used r.raw and then we just used the name of the audio file. Nice and easy. But we actually want to use a variable here, i.e. the value of the tag. And if we try and use something like button pressed .get tag, it won't work because it's expecting the name of the raw file directly. So we're going to need to find a way around this so that we can use our variable name to play the file. So let's consult Google and see if we can find a solution. So we want something like Java, Android, play sound file with variable. Something like that. Okay, that top result, sound file as variable in Android media player. Okay, that looks promising. Looks like they want to do what we want to do, and that looks perfect. So The difference is here we're using mediaplayer.create and then this for the context and then get resources, and this is where we're using the name of the file, which we can put in as our tag. Excellent. So let's copy over. I generally recommend copying over as little as possible. Little as possible chance of either getting confused or copying code that's wrong or doesn't do what you expect. So the thing we need to change is the name of the file, and that is just buttonpressed.getTag.toString. There we go, and it's type of raw, and it's going to be in our package. All right, let's give it a try. So mediaplayer.start should, with any luck, do the trick. Let's give it a go.
Bonsoir. Bonjour.
There you go.
J'habite à... Je m'appelle... Bienvenue. Tu parles anglais?
Excellent. So that's created our basic phrases app and worked in the way we wanted it to. And it also brings us to the end of this section where you've learned how to work with animations, build a fairly complicated Connect 3 game, and include audio and video in your apps, and work with tags to create a basic phrases app. So as always, congratulations. Go get yourself a cup of tea and a biscuit. Give yourself a pat on the back, but don't get too complacent because there's still a huge amount more to learn. We're going to be looking at list views at the beginning of the next section to enable you to show a whole long list of data, and we'll be making apps like egg timers, brain trainers, and internet connected apps like Guess the Celebrity and What's the Weather. So huge amount more to learn. See you in the next section.